What's going on, guys? I'm finally bringing you the franchise mode a bunch you've been waiting for. We are doing the Minnesota Wild. I've actually been planning to do this one since Parise and Suter got bought out. Right there you guys can see a thumbnail I had built to do a Minnesota Wild rebuild back then. For whatever reason, just never got around to it, but finally, we're going to try and turn this Minnesota Wild team into a Stanley Cup champion. Obviously, they never have won the Stanley Cup, and I think with the Parise and Suter buyouts, it's going to be a really tough challenge for us, so should be a lot of fun. Also, really quick, guys, if you could leave a thumbs up on this video, it really helps me out. As you guys can see at the bottom there, top players, Kaprizov, Zuccarello, and Spurgeon. And now look at the ratings here, you can see our team's 86 overall, so in the Central Division, I think, what are we, Winnipeg, Dallas, Colorado, only teams above us, so we're tied there with Nashville for 4th. So kind of like real life, you know, we're kind of a bubble team, could get in, could not. As you guys can see there, just an updated look at all the NHL team ratings. And I apologize and wait for this franchise mode, guys. Obviously, my YouTube channel got hacked, and I was trying to work on my own roster, but just didn't have the time. So I'm using Vasi Roster Update 8 for this franchise mode. As you can see there, it's his trade deadline update. I think, too, he's actually changed around how the attributes work, maxing out some that don't matter, so I'll be cool to try this, and I think for my next franchise mode, I'll actually be using my own. And now, as always for the franchise mode, guys, you're gonna have owner mode turned off. Salary cap, though, is on. I think computer trade's also on, and that is it. And then injuries there turned off, just super annoying to deal with. Superstar, like the last, few franchise modes, it's gonna be an 8-season franchise, but we'll just set it to 10 there. That way we can make sure we can still look at everything. Trade difficulty, of course, on hard, even though on hard, it can sometimes still be a little bit too easy. And then one thing I like to do is set the attribute effects here to 9 out of 10. So basically, it should make it that the good teams sim better, bad teams sim worse, but obviously, there's still a tiny bit of luck involved, just like in real life. And so now, before I make any moves with this team, guys, I'll first show what they're looking like. Obviously, you got Kaprizov there leading the way. 26 years old, 91 overall, an absolute beast. You can see, too, with the attributes what I was talking about, 99 deking and puck control. A lot of players are going to have that max. Same with, I think, the poise stat, the strength stat, just stats that don't matter as much. So I'm curious to see how this will affect the sim, how it'll affect growth. I figured, why not try something new here? Now, looking at the Wild team, should we be a rebuilder? Should we try and go for it? Should we just stay the course? I think this team definitely needs a bit of a retool. You got Brock Faber as a future #1 for sure. Defensive chemistry here is actually really nice. I mean, Spurgeon 33, Brodin 30. They're not going to be too good for too much longer, so I feel like this team probably could use a full rebuild. Something that's kind of plagued the Wild franchise for the past decades, the fact that they're always just like a middle team. They're never a great team, they're never a terrible team because of that. They never get the best prospects, although they did, really luck out with Kaprizov and Faber. Now, looking at the AHL team, Kazadinov there, 2176, medium top 6. Looks to be our best prospect in the AHL. In terms of the defense, nothing really. Now, goaltending, we do have Jesper Wallstedt there, 79 medium elite, who should be a future #1 for us. Plus, we already got Gustafsson in the NHL. So, definitely some pieces here in terms of players in junior or just not in NHL or AHL. You got Pert there, medium top 4, Stramel, height, Yurov, of course, low elite. He was a first-round pick by them, I think, like 2022. Draft pick-wise, we got, a lot of our picks. Should have more picks, unfortunately, because it is a custom roster made before the deadline. Cannot move those picks. Now, like I was saying, in regards to the Parise and the Suter buyouts, you guys can see this year costing us $14.7 million. And it's also going to cost us $14.7 million again next season. So I feel like these first 2 years we're literally forced to be, at minimum, $15 million under the salary cap max. Are probably the best 2 years to rebuild. After that, you can see only costing us 1.6 for the next 4+ years, which really is nothing, especially with the cap always going up in games. So again, I think I want to do a rebuild here with this team. At least, a fast couple-year rebuild. Try and be ready by the, 25-26 season. If we're still bad, I have a chance at Gad McKenna, but if not, of course, we're trying to do something. I also wouldn't mind, bringing Phil Kessel here to Minnesota. That's actually where he played his college hockey. And I feel like Kessel really got robbed this year, not being able to play any hockey. As if you guys didn't know, he's actually only 8 points shy of hitting 1,000 points. So basically, I just want to help him hit that 1,000-point total as well, too. Injuries off, he'll for sure, keep the Ironman streak going. So, Phil Kessel, probably the only free agent I'm going to sign here. I'm curious, too, here, guys. So, looking at our coaching staff, we have a B head coach, which kind of sucks. But honestly, if the first years we're going to tank anyways, I'll probably just hire a new one. Start of year 3. Staff chemistry is 80%, which actually is good. We actually have an A+ teaching goalie coach in the NHL, which is nice. He'll, of course, help Gustafsson. The AHL one, B-. So, I'll fire him, get a better AHL goalie coach. Apart from that, though, probably just leave them as they are, as usually there's nobody like that great available in the first year anyways. And of course, too, guys, in regards to scouting, I'll definitely make sure to clean this all up so we have A+ in every region. And now for our first trade here, guys, I'm offering up Alex Goligoski to the Ducks for a 6th-round pick. He's 38 years old, so there's a good chance he'll retire at the end of the year anyways. Trying to just get something back for him. And the Ducks say yes, so hopefully Ducks are not very good, and it's actually like an early 6. And now next year, guys, I'm making another small trade. This one's with the Pittsburgh Penguins, sending Marc-Andre Fleury home. I figured he's another guy, 38 years old, in-game, could retire into this season. Let him hit that 1,000-game mark with the Pittsburgh Penguins, you know, just playing with Sid, Letang, Malkin. I think that'd be pretty cool. We're not getting back much, and Eljovic there just for the salary. We're going from a 7th to a 4th round pick, but I'm basically just kind of being nice here. Plus, you know, we're getting a little bit of draft pick capital. And the Penguins say yes. Okay, so probably the only moves I'm going to make just for now to start the year. Again, getting rid of the 2 oldest players on the team. I feel like that makes the most sense for now. There's other guys I got to make some decisions on. For instance, Marcus Foligno. I'm not really sure about him. 82 overall, about to get, you know, a $4 million extension. Maybe we trade him at the deadline, depending if he is playing better, and maybe we can trade him for a bit more. And the Flames here offering us a 4th round pick, essentially, for John Merrill. I mean, I probably would be willing to do this. Again, we're trying to rebuild. He's 80 overall, right on. I mean, pretty much just a dude. If we get a 4th round pick back, yeah, let's do that. And look at this, guys. Edmonton Oilers are offering us a 2nd and a 5th for Johansson and a 4th. So we drop back 1 round, but we get a 2nd. Honestly, this is another one I think we should do. I'm just trying to add a bunch of picks here to help build this team. Again, I'm trying to do like a fast rebuild the first 2 years while we have, you know, the $15 million in cap penalty of the Parise and Suter buyouts. Johansson there, he's 32. 8th year overall for a 2nd. I don't think that's that bad, so we'll do it. Boston Bruins are making us a big offer. Actually getting a lot of trade offers here, to be honest. Fabian Lysell, a 3rd, 4th, and 5th for Ryan Hartman and a 4th. I mean, the thing is, if we play Hartman even in the top 6, he'll probably produce and have a lot of value come deadline, especially only making 1.7. If you're like retained on him, I think we could trade him for a lot more than just Lysell, who is like a good prospect. I've seen him grow before. I've also seen him bust. So yeah, I think we'll wait, but, you know, good to know Hartman's got value. And there we go, guys. Phil Kessel did sign with us, so he's probably like the immediate replacement for Marcus Johansson. All right, guys, we got another trade offer coming in. I actually have never had this many trade offers before the start of the season. Ottawa here, 2nd and a 6th for Gaudreau and a 5th. I feel like I'm doing an accepting all trades video here, not a franchise. So Gaudreau's making 2.1 for the next 5 years. It's a long-term contract. He's 82 overall, though, so it's not that much money. 2-way forward there. Defensively, though, really not that great. This is a tough one. Do we move on from Gaudreau for a 2nd round pick? The Sens shouldn't be good. I mean, in real life, that'd be pretty high 2nd. We do drop back 1 round there to make this happen as well. We do clear up some cap space here. I am honestly, if I do this, I'm trading away so many guys. But I did say I want to do a rebuild. You know what? Let's do it. I feel like I don't think I've ever made that many computer trade offers at the beginning of a franchise before, so hopefully it works out for us. And so after those moves, guys, I'll give you an updated look at the team. I really feel like even though we've traded away some small pieces, this team's probably somehow still going to make the playoffs easily just because they got that star power in Kaprizov. Of course, they got, you know, good defensemen. So looking at it here, 1st line intact. 2nd line, you got Hartman, Rossi, and Boldy. So I think the top 6 actually hasn't changed. 3rd line's now Marcus Foligno, Kuzadinov, and Kessel. So Kuzadinov here is a 76, 3rd eye. Playing 3rd line center in the NHL opposed to AHL could really help his growth if he does well. 4th line, you got Shaw, Kara, and Beckman. In terms of the defense, you still got Brodin, Spurgeon, Faber, Middleton as the top 4. Bottom pairing there is now Mermis and Bogosian. Very good chemistry for the D-core. Goaltending, Gustin starting, Nedeljkovic backing him up. In terms of the special teams, I actually didn't really touch it much just because we're trying to do bad, so I wasn't really looking to optimize it, but I made sure like the top power play, you know, is the guys we want. Plus they're getting a +5 there. And you look at the PK even, you got +5 in the first unit as well. So even just the default's actually really solid. AHL team does not look too good, mostly mid-70s. You got Liam Ogren there, though, I noticed, was a 1st-round pick, 2022. Hopefully he can turn into a player for us. Ovchynnikov here, even they just got from the Maple Leafs at the deadline. Defensively, you do have Carson Lambos, who usually ends up being a bust for whatever reason, so hopefully we can change that this time. Goaltending, of course, Wallstedt is our starter, so hoping for some nice growth from him. No change to the captaincy. Spurgeon still reigning a C, with I think Foligno and Eriksson Ek reigning A's. Now, I sent through the preseason and just, you know, in fashion, trying to rebuild. I know it's the preseason, but we're 6-0 there. Kaprizov's averaging a point per game, so before we get started here, guys, I will show you our ratings after those moves. So we've got 90 offense, 83 defense, 83 goaltending. I'm actually surprised the defensive rating's so low, but I'll get started here and see what happens with this team. Wow, look at the trade-off we just got from the Canucks, guys. Lekkerimaki in a 3rd for Ryan Hartman. Again, he's playing 2nd line. I think with his salary, if he does produce during the season, we can trade him for even more at the deadline, especially too, we're 50% retention maybe. So I'm going to wait, but good to know, like, we could get such a good return for him. And this is kind of funny, guys. Ryan Reeves is being offered to us, of course. He was on Minnesota before the Leafs. with a 5th for a 4th and a 5th. So basically, they want to, you know, dump Reeves on us for a 4th. I don't really want his salary, so I'm going to say no. And look at this trade offer I just got from the Devils, guys. A 3rd round pick for a 4th and Will Butcher. Will Butcher is in the AHL. No offense to him. He's literally just a dude. So to jump up a round and a year, definitely worth it. He's actually averaging close to an assist a game in the AHL, but you guys can see 3rd rounder in 2024 for at least 4th in 2025. Yeah, I like this trade a lot for us. Alright guys, so it's almost into December now. Hurricane just offered us Bradley Nadeau and a 2nd for Ryan Hartman. He was their 1st round pick 2023. I'm going to say no to that. Hopefully, like I said, we can get more from him. Currently, we're last place in the Central, so the rebuild's actually going as it should. The Blackhawks are 3rd place in the division. Wow, I don't know how they pulled that one off. The Ducks are doing terrible, though. They're below us, and so are the Kings somehow. Even the Golden Knights are tied with us. The Sharks are doing better than them. I mean, how? The Golden Knights literally have Thomas Hertl now. The Senators are below us. So again, we got the Senators, what was it, 2nd round pick. We got a pick from the Ducks as well. The Flyers there, last in the Metro. So I mean, we're doing everything we can. Again, we can trade away more guys at the deadline or even right now. Zuccarello, there's actually a leading scorer, not Kaprizov. He's got 30 and 34. AHL team, first off there, he's got 17 and 30. The AHL team's last in their division. I didn't really expect them to be any good this year, so that's okay. And now I'm not waiting until the deadline to make this trade, guys. As you can see, I'm trying to get Lekkerimaki from the Canucks. He's on the block. Also trying to get a 3rd round pick back. Offering up Hartman, who they want, at 50% retention. Maybe just, you know, increase his value slightly. The reason I'm trading him now, not waiting until the deadline, is the fact he's actually been doing kind of terrible on our 2nd line. He only has 11 points in 34 games, so I don't know, like if the trade values readjust by the deadline, he'll actually go down. Like that's not producing much at all. I thought he was going to be the opposite. He'd actually be doing well for us, but has not been the case. So if we can get Lekkerimaki here, I think it's a great return. 19 years old there, 75 overall, high top 6 potential. Was the 15th overall pick back in 2022. Let's see what the Canucks say to this. Trades accepted. Lekkerimaki in a 3rd for Hartman, I think, is an absolute steal. And after the trade, guys, they've actually got Lekkerimaki in the NHL, which I don't really mind. Could help his growth. He's playing with Kazadinov here, I noticed, has 0 goals so far in 34 games. He does have 13 assists. They got Foligno there, you know, kind of being the dad of the line. You got Kessel on the 2nd line now. So we'll see what happens. At the deadline, all we really have left to trade is probably Foligno and then maybe, like, Middleton. I don't know if we can get anything for the 2 defensemen. And now look at this, guys. This might be perfect. The Buffalo Sabres just offered us a 2nd round pick for Marcus Foligno, a 5th and a 6th. If you guys didn't know, Marcus Foligno's dad, Mike Foligno, actually played most of his career with the Sabres. Honestly, I'm going to say yes. The computer trades have actually been, you know, pretty good here. Very interesting to say the least. But again, going towards the trade deadline now, I'm not really sure what we have left. And what the heck, after trading Foligno away, we went on a 4-game win streak. That's not what I expected to happen. And I just noticed, guys, Lekkermaki's got 4 goals and an assist in his first 6 games with the NHL team. It's pretty good. And so we're now at the trade deadline here, guys. Record there, 27, 31, and 5. We are currently 3rd last in the division. We're 10 points out of a playoff spot. The Coyotes are tied with us. The Predators there, 4 back. In the Pacific, you got the Ducks with 42. The Red Wings, 59, same kind of points. Blue Jackets, they're actually above us. The Metro is all doing better. So we should probably have a top 5 pick here. Obviously, we got to hope to continue losing here after the deadline. Zuccarello's looking good, 54 and 63. We could make a massive trade, you know, moving on from him, but I'm going to have to be for the right return. AHL-wise, you got Samuel Walker there, leading the team with 34 and 54. And they're actually now in a playoff spot. Jeez, they're 3 points up on the Ice Hogs. They're tied with the Admirals. This AHL team making the playoffs would actually be really surprising because they really got nobody. But we'll get to the deadline, guys. Obviously, we are full-on sellers. Again, hopefully everyone's okay with my, you know, plan here as a 2-year rebuild. Linus Ullmark, they got Brodin there on the block. That wasn't me. That was like the assistant GM. Couturier there. That was definitely Tortorella. He's done with the captain. Spurgeon, Hannafin. Obviously, the Vegas Golden Knights just got him. Stevenson, Schmaltz, Marchessault. Weird to see Vegas, you know, not simming well. JT Comfort, Patty Kane. With the Red Wings, I think they were actually at the playoffs as well. So we'll take a look. Most of the guys we could trade have already moved on from, like I was saying. Would probably require us making a big splash. And maybe like a Middleton we can move on from, but I know he's a bit of a fan favorite. Obviously, Kaprizov, favorite Boley. We're not moving on from. They're part of the future. We do need a 1C, though. I think that's something the Wild have definitely been lacking the last, I don't know, since Miku Koivu retired, probably. Eriksson X, good, but to me, he's more of like a second-line center. Tampa Bay offering us Nick, Paul, Groshev, and a 7th. The thing is, Paul's getting paid $3 million for the next 6 years. That is not worth it. All right, guys, on the Penguins just made us an offer. Samuel Poulin, a 3rd and a 5th for a 3rd, a 4th, and Mermis. Mermis is just like a dude on our bottom pair because we have nobody. Poulin, medium top 9, 23.77. Man, is he going to turn into a player? It's not a terrible offer, though. He's got 22 goals in the AHL. All right, you know what? We're going to take a risk. We're going to say yes and hope for the best. Eric Halla, a second and a third for Brodeen. The Devil's Wish. And look at my players here, guys. I should mention Phil Kessel now with 29 points has hit the 1,000 point mark. He actually hit it a little bit ago. He's got 1,021 now, so I feel like, you know, we did right by him. Are we going to trade him? Maybe. Unfortunately, he has, like, pretty much no value. Also, Lekra Mackey here, guys, slowed way down. He's now got 11 points in 30 games after having 5 in his first 6. Interesting offer here from the Jets. Adam Lowry in a second for Middleton, a 4th and a 6th. I don't really think Lowry moves the needle for us. He'd be like a good third-line center on a competitive team, but we're rebuilding, so don't really need him. Still trying to see if I can maybe, you know, move one more player. All right, guys, so right here, making the Hurricanes a small offer, but Goshen, the Oilers' second, which hopefully will be like a late second for Bradley Nadeau here. Again, you know, he's a left wing, could even be a center, potentially, you know, in our top 6, 18 years old, 70 overall. Let's see what they say. Trades rejected. All right, maybe, I feel like that's got to be close. Throw in, we have 3 6th-round picks. Let's throw in, I don't know, the center 6th-round pick here. Now it's going through, so probably we're going to get a player as good as him late in the second. Also, too, that kind of makes our defense a little bit worse. Trading away Bogosian. Trade deadline's almost over, so didn't really make any major deals. The biggest one, of course, was Hartman for Lekra Mackey, which we made a couple months ago. Tyler Seguin there now on the blocks, definitely interesting. So we'll see kind of what happens to the trade values. Could definitely make bigger trades at the draft. And the trade deadline is now complete. I saw Linus Ullmark got traded. Let's see who else gets moved here. Maverick Bjork there to the Flyers for Day Laurier and Mark Stahl. Barbanov to the Lightning. Nick Paul to the Sharks. All right, Cam Talbot to the Sabres. Gosper to the Devils. And Tony Honker to the Ducks. They also got Zub. Nick Schmaltz to the Kraken's pretty big. Ullmark to the Flyers with Brett Harrison in exchange for Sean Couturier and Scott Lawton. Wow, massive deal there between the Flyers and the Bruins. Comfort there goes to the Preds. The Red Wings get back Luke Shine in a second. Wallman to the Ducks. Andrew Kopp to the Capitals. The Red Wings fully selling Patrick Kane to the Jets. Oh my gosh, Irishman just fire sale. Matt Roy there to the Panthers. But yeah, that Ullmark and Harrison for Couturier and Lawton was a massive trade. Cal Peterson on waivers, definitely do not want that $5 million. And so after the trade deadline, guys, here's an updated look at the team. I think the top 6 is the same. Third line's kind of a young gun line. You got Samuel Poulin with Cousin Dinov and Lekra Mackey. The fourth line there, no change. Defensively, we got a new bottom pair in Hunt and Chisholm. So again, we're not trying to be good. I think, you know, some of these younger players getting that ice time should help them. AHL team, actually, Lettieri got sent back down, so that should actually help the AHL team as well. Defensively, though, they are looking at a lot worse because we had to call a couple of guys up, like Lambos, I think, was bottom pair, now he's top pair. So I feel like they're definitely going to rely on Wallstead heavily here, and hopefully he can carry them to the playoffs. All right, guys, we're at the end of the season now with a record of 38, 38, and 6. I can't believe this. Even after trading away more guys at the deadline, we actually were like above 500, I think, post-deadline, because we had a negative record going into it. We had like a 4-game win streak there. We won 3 of our final 4 games. I don't quite get it. Luckily, I looked through all the divisions. I think we finished 7th last in the NHL, so, you know, still a decent chance we'll get the first, second overall pick. Obviously, we do have to get lucky. Worst case, too, we could drop down to 9, so hopefully it doesn't happen. The Coyotes and the Preds both finished below us in our division. Last in the NHL was actually the Anaheim Ducks, so unfortunate, but, I mean, you can only do so much without, you know, completely stripping away your entire team. Kaprizov, 69 points. Nice, but, you know, I think he could have done better. He had solid players on the first line. He was getting first power play minutes as well. AHL team just missed the playoffs, unfortunately. 5th place there in the division. 7 points back there of a spot. First off was the leading scorer with only 39 and 70, so I think AHL team will definitely be better very soon once we have, you know, a bunch of draft picks entering the fold. So unfortunately, neither team's making the playoffs. So I think we're just going to sim here to player retirement. And look at this, guys. The Florida Panthers have won the Stanley Cup. Rochester Americans there win the Calder Cup. I think, you know, Panthers definitely are a pretty big favorite this season. Draft, lottery, not the worst case scenario, but are you kidding me? Flyers jump from 8 to 1. We fall from 7 to 8. How unlucky. Nashville there stays at 2. Ottawa is picking 4th with the Detroit pick. That is not accurate. They really should have given Ottawa the Boston pick because Boston will most likely pick below Detroit. That is so annoying that EA did that because there's literally no way to fix it, and now Ottawa gets a 4th overall pick. But yeah, all right, so we're picking 8. Could move up. I mean, probably don't want to move up to 1 to make it a bit more realistic, but could move up to like 4 or something. We'll see what's available. You never know. There's sometimes our very good EA-generated players actually fall, you know, to the 8 or 9 spot. Speaking of retired players here, usually in the first year there's not much. Yeah, Derek Brassard, Andrew Cogliano, Anisimov, Bonino was on the Wild for a bit, Strawman, Demers. Take a look at goaltenders, Brian Elliott, that's it. So Fleury still playing there. Hopefully he does resign with the Penguins. And you know, I just realized, guys, one thing I totally forgot to do at the beginning of the season because I was so focused on, you know, everything else with this team was actually look at contract extensions. Luckily, it doesn't really look like anyone of note needs one. Yeah, so I think we're going to be good in that respect. So we kind of lucked out there. But now, guys, we will get to the draft, you know, see who we can potentially get at the 8 spot. I wonder, the Flyers, okay, they jumped from 8 to 1. Their pick is not on the block, though, so most likely Macklin Celebrini heading to Philadelphia. Never mind, you got this made-up Jacob Sherov guy, Russian. Medium franchise, going to go first overall. Celebrini there. You got this other made-up guy, Caden Paxpu. He's going to go 3. Yzerman 4. I mean, that makes everyone else drop. So you got Demidov, Levshinov, Lidstrom there, Dickinson, Berkeley, Catton. All right, so, I mean, we're pretty much guaranteed medium elite, assuming Catton is elite, which I believe he is. So we should be good. And as you guys can see there, Sherov did go first overall, the Flyers. So we're on the clock now if we wanted to make a trade for Celebrini. Quickly here, though, we'll take a look at guaranteed potential just to see if there are any steals. Unfortunately, not seeing any guaranteed medium elites. The 3 gems there. I mean, Olsen we could take. That's going to be pretty late for him. And now, unfortunately, guys, the Predators do not have the 2nd overall pick on the block. So to keep it a bit more realistic, I won't trade for it. I'll let, you know, Celebrini there go to Nashville. It sucks we didn't get him, but just got unlucky. Literally had to do slightly better as it turns out. Vegas, though, has the 5th overall pick on the block. I wonder, our 8th overall pick plus the Vancouver 3rd to move up 3 spots. They say no. I mean, I feel like that's pretty fair. Basically, I'm thinking we could potentially get Demidov there, who could be a center for us, could be a winger. Maybe him and Kaprizov could be like a sick Russian duo. We're on a 6th round as well. They said we're a bit off in value. All right, so I mean, basically this is just to get our choice of player. We'll throw in a 5th rounder. They're still saying a bit off. Honestly, though, is a 3rd and a 4th worth moving up 3 spots? It might be, because we're probably going to get a better player. So I did the trade there. That way we can make sure we get the best possible player at 5. So I'll just sim to our pick here. And Seth Jones is being offered to us for a 5th overall pick. Yeah, the cap there is not worth it. So Yzerman fell to 4. Dang, that would have been kind of sweet to get him. But left wing sniper, we kind of already got Kaprizov for that spot. The Paxpu guy went 3rd. Celebrini there went 2nd. So we can take Demidov here. You also got Levshinov. Caden Lindstrom's an option as well. Center / left wing. I did say we want like a first line center. NHLATA there is 1 year. Similar style Lucic. Okay, then Demidov here. NHLATA also 1 year. I mean, he's obviously like a sniper. You look at Demidov here, he's got 4 A's, 2 B's. Lidstrom's got 4 A's, a B, and a C. I feel like Demidov, right winger. We still need to get a first line center, but he could take over Zuccarello's role and play with Kaprizov for a long time. So let's take him. Hopefully this is the right pick. And he's 75 medium elite out of the draft. We'll just send our next pick here, which is number 39, and we'll take a look at how the rest of the first round went. It does suck. Like, I hate when there's a made-up guy going first overall instead of Celebrini. And you really just realized, guys, I think the reason that happened was because I forgot to turn the draft class quality and prospect quality down to low. Just complete brain fart when I was doing the settings. I don't know how I forgot to do that, but I'll make sure to do it for the next draft. Let's see. So Levshinov there, also 75. Lindstrom there was 1 overall below. Dickinson, you got Catton there at 73. Okay, so yeah, Perek was a high top 4. Same with Celiev there, Jaracek. This is actually, you know, pretty accurate to how the real-life draft could go. Let's see. Really, no surprises. Henry Muse there, of course, was, you know, former top 10 pick. Kiva Harju there, late first round. Liam Greentree, first pick in the 2nd. He'll probably be a mid-first rounder. So hopefully, like, there's some pretty good guys playing there. Zetterberg as well goes to the Red Wings. I really like the draft that they had there. So hopefully we get somebody solid here with our pick. And you know what, guys? We got Tanner Howe here, who I think's medium top 6. Obviously play with Bedard. 3-year NHL ETA. Luke Misa. I mean, maybe we take him. Will give us good luck in terms of getting his brother, Michael Misa, in the next draft. You know what? Let's do it. He's a center. And he's a 65 medium top 6. I think that's actually a solid pick there. So after him, you had a 66 and a 67. So we could have had a, you know, better player. Howe there, 66. Cristoforo, 68 high top 6. Another Windsor Spitfire. Now let's see who's available here. Charlie Ellick here, I think's medium top 4. Could also just take Vinny. I believe he's a medium starter goalie, so probably just our best value. Unknown, even though we had 2 scouts in Liga. Yeah, 66 medium elite. I think Vinny there is a very good pick. I'm now picking early 3rd round here, guys, so we'll see what else is available. Lucas Peterson here, they think could be medium top 6. I'm not sure if he is. He's medium top 9. Okay, so early 3rd round pick. That definitely could have been better. We got a guaranteed low top 9 there, which honestly isn't even worth the pick. You might as well just take a chance on somebody else. Like this Russian defenseman who could be medium elite. I know Jelsman's not, so we'll take a chance. I know he's not. Yeah, he's a low top 6, but whatever. Barakas could be low elite. He's next to go. We'll take a chance. He's a low top 6 as well. Next year, we could take Owen Allard. Was on the Canadian World Junior team. What is he? Low bottom 6, 62 overall. All right. And I think that's actually our last pick of the draft. So overall, I feel like, went pretty well. Getting Demidov at 5, Luke Misa, we got Vinny. I think the top 3 picks are, going to be big parts of this team in the future. Obviously, we're going to have too many goalies, but definitely better than not having enough. And yeah, guys, I was right. I totally forgot to turn down the draft class quality, prospect quality to low. And what's funny is the draft as a whole didn't even seem that great. Maybe it's because my scouts aren't as good yet, but like apart from that guy going first and the other guy going top 5, it was pretty much just the real players. Also, too, I realized I forgot to show you guys the playoff tree and the awards before the draft. So the Panthers here beat the Senators in 6 and made the playoffs somehow. The Canadians as well made it. They beat them in 5, Hurricanes in 5, and then the Oilers there in 7. All right, so I mean, again, Florida winning it does make sense. Some of the teams they faced, not so much. In terms of individual awards, McDavid, 4th straight Irish trophy, also got the Hart there. McCarr, James Norris, and the Lady Bing. Bedard got the Calder. Kachuk, Conn Smythe, Demko, Vezina. Montembeau, though, William Jennings, geez. Giordano, Bill Masterton. Seattle coach Jack Adams. Kopitar with the Selke. McDavid, Ted Lindsay, and then Pastrnak there with the Maurice Richard. You know, I just realized, guys, I totally forgot to look at the stats for this year. I don't know what it was. I think not making the playoffs, totally threw me off. So we'll take a look at that after as well. Rochester Americans there, Calder Cup. Sam Gagner, most points, league MVP. That's funny. Stromgren, most goals. Josh Doan, best rookie. Ryan Johnson there, best defenseman. Alan Felt, best goalie. Stillman, MVP of the playoffs. Holmberg, sportsmanship. Carlisle there, community involvement. Ranta, lowest goals against. So, yeah, how did I totally forgot to check that? I have no idea. So, as I mentioned, Samuel Walker, AHL scoring leader. Poulin behind him, 33-56. Wallstedt there's not showing up, but I think he did have decent numbers. Now, NHL, Zuccarello was actually tied for Kaprizov, 69. Eriksson at 58. So, only 3 guys, 50-plus points. Faber, though, 46. Now at 86. Again, he's definitely our number 1 in the future. Rossi, 45. Could be a number 1 center for us. Obviously, time will tell. Konstantinov there, 31. That's okay. And now in terms of our goaltenders, Gustafsson here, 913-292. He actually did pretty well. So, if we had worse goaltending, we probably would have finished, lower in the standings. Entire league. So, McDavid, 110. Only player with 100-plus points. That's what the Simmons scoring set to medium and shots at high. McCarr was number 2 with 99. McKinnon, Draisaitl, Hyman there. So, geez. Pastrnak, of course, we know. Won the Maurice Richard. 51 goals. Definitely a lower scoring year. McCarr there, 99 behind him. Next closest was Quinn Hughes, Yossi, Bouchard. Seth Jones had a pretty big year. That's why they're asking for 5th overall. And then goaltending there, Georgiev had the most wins. Save percentage there looks to have been Montembeau. I mean, we know he had lowest goals against, but there's actually Demko there who won the Vezina, probably just because he had a bit more wins. And because the season's over, guys, it doesn't show me rookie skaters, but as you can see there, Bedard actually had 74 points his rookie season, now in 91 overall. Pretty impressive. And so now the re-sign phase here, guys. You can see at the bottom, we got $16.5 million in cap space, which is pretty good. We still have the almost $15 million bio penalty, though. Again, trying to still rebuild. Obviously, we've had a lot of player growth, though, which make it tougher. Faber's better. I think Boldy there pretty much stayed the same. Contract-wise, we could bring back Phil Kessel. He wants $1.5 million. We can make the Iron Man streak even longer for him. I feel like at least should have a spot on our 3rd line, so we'll do 1 year. We'll do 145. We'll keep it going. Shaw there, 25.79. Pretty fair ask there from him. Beckman's a 78. He could be a 4th liner. Also asking for under $1 million. Kara, probably just let him go at this point. Poulin here will sign a couple years, see what happens with his growth. Yurov actually needs his first contract, so I'll definitely sign him. Also, you guys, looking at Demidov here, as we mentioned, 75 overall. He's got 5 superstar abilities. No X Factor quite yet. Shot there is all 82. A little bit better for a sniper, but it should, increase through time. I think we'll sign him, throw him in the AHL, and hopefully can lead that team to a Calder Cup. Now, defensively here, the top 4 is still intact. Definitely want to sign Faber to an extension at the start of next season. Chisholm here, 24.76. Wants over $1 million. That is not going to happen. So we'll qualify him. We definitely need a couple NHL D-man who will probably just, be traded at the deadline, assuming we're still out of a playoff spot. And now looking at our goaltenders here. So we could bring back Nedojevic. Thing is, Wallstedt has a role there of backup goalie. So to continue his growth, we'll probably have to have him play in that spot, which just means we have to sign an AHL starter because Jones here should be a decent AHL backup. And then Vinny, I'll just leave unsigned for now, let him play in the Finnish League. And you know what, guys? Actually, looking at Jones here, 23.71 medium fringe. I think we can find better than that in free agency, so can sign a couple AHL goalies. All right, guys, so Shaw said yes to our offer. It could be a 4th liner for us. Same with Beckman there. Kessel wants to test free agency after all we did for him, making sure he hit 1,000 points. Raxa there, just AHL. Same with Chinnikov, Poulin, Demidov, obviously. Most of this is just AHL players. Now, if Kessel wants to test free agency, I'll respect that. I'll let him go. Poulin will just honestly qualify for now then. And Poulin here actually accepted our qualifying offer just before free agency. Now I'm letting go some of the AHL coaches. We did make the playoffs. I feel like we can probably find better ones. So we'll take a look at free agency here, guys. We have money, but again, we're not trying to be great. So like Sam Reinhart doesn't make a ton of sense. Hronik 26. I mean, you could argue part of the core. Low top 4D potential. Definitely interesting potential on him being 87. Teravainen, 29 now. Wow, I did not realize he was that old. I shouldn't say that though. I'm 29. Stevenson, Stamkos goes to free agency. Did not resign with the Lightning. If we were, going for it, he'd be the perfect player to sign. Although you could do like a 1 year on Stammer, and then if we're not doing well, flip him at the deadline for a huge haul. That might not be a terrible idea. Mike Hoffman's asking for 6. Apparently, yeah, he actually had a really good season with the Sharks last year. Barbanov, Duran wants to get paid, even after the Avs took him on that very, very cheap contract. So some interesting options here for sure. Take a look at goaltenders. Not really playing on sign any. You can see Fleury there actually did go to free agency. We do need a couple AHL goalies though. So sort of by potential here. Actually, you know what, guys? I'm going to sign this Peretz guy. 24.74 low starter. So maybe he turns out. And I'm thinking actually I want to make Wallstedt the AHL starter again, just because if our team is bad and he doesn't have good numbers, even though he's in the NHL, it could affect his growth. So we'll sign an NHL backup here. Hopefully the right decision. Nedeljkovic there, we could bring back. I mean, honestly, it's a pretty fair price. 1 year, 175. See what he says. And like I was saying, guys, we have 16.5 million in cap space. I feel like Stammer on a 1 year, kind of like when Taylor Hall signed with Buffalo. You flip him at the deadline if we're not in the playoffs, which we probably won't be, and we can get a huge return for him. Maybe more money, honestly, to like kind of entice him to come to our team. Like, we have the money. We'll probably retain 50% of it anyways. So to be really realistic, we were to really make him want to sign with us. 1 year, $9 million. He's 88 overall. He's definitely worth it. We still have 7 million. Really, all we need is like a couple of bomb pairing defensemen. I think we're actually gonna have quite a bit of forwards. Matt Dumba here, we could bring back to Minnesota. See what he'd say about a 1 year, 275. Again, a guy we're looking to just, flip at the deadline. Marco Scandella also available. Another former Wild. You know what? Why not? I mean, at one point, Scandella, Dumba, Brodin, and Spurgeon was a nasty top 4. So we'll see if we can bring back Scandella there as well. Now look at this, guys. Andres here offering us a 2nd and a 3rd for Jacob Middleton. I mean, that's a pretty good return. So I feel like we got to do this. A 2nd and a 3rd is just way too good a value. I know a lot of people do like Middleton, but we do have a couple of defensemen coming in Dumba and Scandella. Just got a new AHL head coach. And there we go, Nedeljkovic coming back to the team. Like I said, I think Wallstedt being the AHL starter should be better if we're going to be bad. Scandella there returns to the team. Same with Dumba. Just a bunch of familiar faces. Peretz there was the AHL backup goalie I signed. Still waiting to hear back from Stamkos. And he said yes. Okay, 1 year, $9 million for Stammer again. I think we could get an absolute haul for him at the deadline. And now look at all the free agents available, guys. You actually got Connor Dewar here. Of course, traded the Leafs. They did not re-sign him. 81 overall. Two-way forward here. 1 year, $1 million. I don't think that's going to hurt us. Oliver Wahlstrom here even. RFA. I wonder if we could steal him from the Islanders. Sniper there. Could be a good player for us. He's relatively young. 1 year, 1.5. 2 years, 2.2. Okay, let's see. I think this would cost us like a 3rd round pick. 2nd round pick. I'm trying to think, is Wahlstrom worth a 2nd round pick? I mean, he's playing 3rd line. Could produce, get better. I think we could take a chance on him. Honestly, there's a lot of guys here you could take chances on. Phil Kessel wanted to go to free agency, so we're not going to bring him back. Zach Parise's there, and we want to bring him back. Corey Perry would be solid, I think, on the 4th line. Jacob Verana's there. Just going through everybody. Anthony Mantha. I think David Perron, 82 overall, wants $2 million on a 1 year deal. I think Perron's going to be my backup option. The guy I was actually eyeing is from Minnesota. Blake Wheeler, 37, 85 overall, wants under $4 million. Kind of like Stammer. I feel like we could sign him, flip out the deadline. You can see there, power forward, pretty good passer. Had 51 points last year with the Rangers. So we'll see if he wants to come to his home state. We'll just offer what he's asking for. I don't think any other teams are interested right now. So see if that works out for us. Also, Reinhardt there, still doesn't sign with the team, same with Teravainen. And now looking at two-way players, you got Maxime Comtois, 25.78. Our AHL team could use some help, so we'll sign him. Shipashev there, that's kind of funny, 37 years old. Goldobin, I mean, not really that great of stats. Alex Nylander here, just popping off the Columbus Blue Jackets. Maybe you give him a chance with the AHL team, see what he does. Matthew Phillips as well is a decent playmaker, so just signing a bunch of two-way deals here, see if we can add some talent to the AHL team. And now Wahlstrom here actually decided to sign with the Islanders instead. So, I mean, we save a 2nd round pick and some money, not the end of the world. Nylander there joined the AHL team. Dewar there, like I said, could be a 4th liner for us probably. Comtois AHL, same with Phillips. Waiting to hear back still from Blake Wheeler. And he said yes. So, like I said, I actually could see him and Stammer both on our second line. How much cap space do we still have? 3.6 million, okay, because we actually could still use a 6th defenseman. Again, we're looking for 1-year deals. We can just flip at the deadline and get back a decent return. Money-wise, even Martinez here is probably a bit too rich for us, but a guy like John Klingberg apparently didn't play last year at the Leafs, was scratched all year. I was thinking, if he plays second power play, maybe he's a guy we could actually flip for like a second-round pick. So there's a couple other teams interested. We'll offer 1 year, and we'll do 2.2 because it doesn't really matter. And there we go. Klingberg actually said yes. So I think the team should be good for next year. Hopefully, obviously, they're not too good. All right, guys, for another start of next season, I'll show you what the team is looking like. Let me know in the comment section if you think this team is going to be too good to tank again. But as you can see, we got Kaprizov on the first line with Stamkos and Boldy. Boldy's role is now first line forward, so I want to make sure we keep him on that first line to help him grow. I feel like, too, Stamkos playing there should help him produce more, and we can trade him for more at the deadline. You got Zuccarello on the second line, who could also trade away, playing with Eriksson Ek and Wheeler. Third line, Lekkerimaki, Rossi, and Kuznetsov. Fourth line there, you got Poulin, Dewar, and Beckman. Defensively here, we still have Brodin, Spurgeon, top pair. Favors on the second with Dumba. Favors same rating as Spurgeon, but you can see we get less chemistry. Luckily, roll top 4. He'll still grow in that spot. Scandella, Klingberg, bottom pair. Goaltending, Gustin starting there. Wallstedt's now backing him up. 84 overall. Roll's starting goalie, not backup. So we actually might even have to trade away Gustin there to make sure Wallstedt keeps getting better, because in the AHL right now, you got Nedeljkovic with that Peretz guy backing him up. Rest of the AHL team, you got Firstov on that first line with Sean, Demidov, Yurov's there. We got Comtois, of course, Ogren, Ovchinnikov. I mean, defensively here, definitely, you know, aside from Faber, not really too many good defensemen coming up. I guess Lambos, but like I said, he usually busts in this game. Like I was saying before, hopefully we can get lucky and he'll actually, you know, turn into at least like a NHL D-man, even if it's just a bottom pairing guy. Now, after trading away Marcus Foligno, had to assign a new alternate captain. I, of course, went with Kaprizov. I feel like just made the most sense being the best player. Hopefully, you know, his English is good enough at this point to help be a leader on this team. So, finally here, guys, I'll show the ratings for next season. Hopefully, like I said, our team's not too good. So, we got 96 offense, 84 defense, 86 goaltending. Excited to see what happens. Again, we're trying to, you know, go for that first overall pick. You get James Higgins, but we'll see what happens. If you guys enjoyed this one, leave that thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit the sub button down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a nice day. Goodbye.